morning, everyone. We're out here at Bryce Canyon National Park, and I'm a little bit chilly. It's like 57 degrees right now. Definitely not what I was expecting for middle of July weather, but you can probably see back here the views. They're amazing. We're going to be exploring the park, looking at some of the natural attractions, and just taking it all in. So we're going to take you along with us through the lens. Let's go check it all out. Behind me here we have Widowmaker's Peak at Bryce Canyon. That's not what it's called at all. I don't think it has a name, but it's very narrow, very steep slide, and if you fall off, you're gonna drop a couple thousand feet and probably die. So I'm gonna try it. All right, now a few steps back and I can fall to my death, so I'm gonna come back up. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not feeling that adventurous this morning. So Bryce Canyon is just incredible, and we're not even far into the park. We're just like on one of the walk trails next to Sunset Point, which ironically we're here at sunrise, but it is still super cool. I mean, the views back here are just incredible. So we're walking here on a trail at Sunset Peak, and it's really nice because along the edge of the canyon where you can see everything, they have a nice paved trail, and then they also have some flat areas off right next to the edge of the canyon where you can step up close and get a really good view of everything. So we are actually up on Sunrise Point here at Bryce Canyon, and in the background here we have a bunch of hoodoes. Now there's going to be a lot more as we get further into it. What those are is basically a formation in the rock that's caused by wind erosion and a lot, mainly like water. As it trickles down, it freezes and expands and it cracks the rock and chips it. So it makes some very cool formations here and great overlook area. You're about to head down the trail here, and this one is going to be Queen's Garden Trail. We are going to, at some point, probably after this one, hit the Navajo Trail Loop, which is one of the main attractions here at Bryce Canyon, and they have a lot more of the hoodoes there as well. So that's a really cool one to check out. We're not going to start with it, but we will end up getting there. So back here you can just see some of the really big rock formations that are eroding away, and the erosion rate's only 1 to 4 feet every decade to century. I don't remember which one it was, but it's quite a few years. We'll be going back and forth a little bit as we stair step down, and then that will take us into the most popular attraction, the Navajo Loop Trail, with a whole lot of hoodoes down here. We are still on our way down the switchbacks here. I keep talking about the hoodoes, but as you can see them back here, they're the really big and slender spires. They're not all big, but a lot of the ones up top here are very sizable. We're at another trailhead here. We are getting closer to the Navajo Loop. We're not quite there yet. This also is in the direction of the Peekaboo Loop, or also Sunset Point. If we went up here, this would be the Queen Victoria Trail. So we're gonna head on to Navajo Loop and check all that out. As we're getting further down in here, we're starting to see some more trees, and quite a few of them actually are fully like stripped off, like all the bark's gone and everything. The type of tree more than likely has a big hand to play in it, but also the wind helps strip that off. And back here is a runoff area where all the water runs through when it rains heavy or floods out. So it's kind of formed a little riverbed, but it's dry right now. There in the rocks, you can see what they call a window, and that is created due to moisture freezing and expanding. So this tree up here, you can't see the whole thing due to the camera, but this is a really massive tree, and I think it got struck by lightning, and that's why we see it on fire, because the surrounding trees are not charred or anything. So I would say this was a lightning strike, burned the tree up, and it looks like a power pole now. So that's what got our attention to it, but kind of neat how it, can burn, but it still stays standing. Back here is another Hudo, and this one is getting very close to becoming two rocks, and the top one becoming a boulder. But it's pretty cool. You can see there's really not much left there holding those together. So eventually, as more moisture and rain piles in there and freezes and expands, it's going to chip away at that rock underneath, and it's going to break loose. For now, it's just a really cool piece of scenery to look at. There's a little chipmunk right here, and he does not seem to be afraid of people because he has not moved when about 10 walked by him. See how close I can get. And you're not really supposed to feed the wildlife in national parks. They had some really chunky squirrels at Zion, so I think people do feed them, but these ones seem about regular here, so I think they're doing all right, eating their own foods. We've now made it to the actual starting point of the Navajo Loop. Essentially, it comes to a trailhead, and you can break off in about 3 different directions. We are heading on to the Navajo Loop, and it should be very cool. So let's see what it looks like. All right, we have decided to make a strategic stop and sit down briefly to take a little rest. The hike's not bad at all, but we were definitely going up a little bit of an incline and breathing a little bit on that. I'm going to say that's because we were at higher elevation, not because I'm out of shape. We're officially getting into what the Navajo Trail Loop is more known for, and that's these massive rock formations right along the sides where you're walking. We're going to get into a lot more, but the scenery is just getting better and better here. So you're not going to be able to see all of it, but there are massive pine trees growing up in the run, like in the Navajo Trail Loop. And we have 2 of them back here. One of them's massive, the other one's kind of scrawny, but I think it just looks really cool. So I'm definitely breathing a little bit more in here. It's a bit of a steeper elevation, but you do feel the temperature change. It's quite a bit cooler down here. Now we don't have direct sunlight right now either, but it just stays a lot cooler and the temperatures are nice. So it feels pretty good right now. Maybe like a quarter of the way up the Navajo Trail Loop, so this is not for the faint of heart hiking up because I'm already breathing heavy, and it's a little bit of a workout, but still very cool. And this view back here is what it looks like when you come up to the top of the Navajo Trail Loop, and it's just phenomenal. And you can carry on too, you can go deeper down on the trail. I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're probably going to head back towards the bathroom area because they don't have them on the trails, and food too. We're a little bit hungry, but the views up here are just spectacular. All right, so that concludes our Bryce Canyon tour, and everything here was fantastic. The scenery and landscape is just phenomenal, and honestly, the crowds weren't bad at all. It wasn't overly congested or anything. This so far has been one of my top favorite spots